Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the music review. This is my new channel. I'm not really actually two of my friends gave me the idea to start this music review channel because they were like, "Dude, Ethan, you have a really good way of describing albums and a way with words." And I was like, "You know what? I may as well." So yeah, this will be my first music review, and I'm hoping to keep this fairly consistent. Hopefully it'll become kind of a consistent thing. I have kind of a way I'm planning on doing this. I'm gonna review an album, and I'm gonna start out today with an album that I currently own on vinyl. I'm gonna do an album that I own, and then I'll do an album that you guys recommend me, and then I'll also highlight some local bands. So I'll try to rotate between those three. I may mix it up, but there will always be an album that I've heard before, an album you guys recommend, and a local band. There will always be in their rotation. Okay, today's album that we will be reviewing is God's Country by Chat Pile. I have the purple Grimace vinyl. That name will make sense in a bit. The way I'm planning on working this is I'm going to give a little rundown of the album, the track list, go into detail on each song, give an overall rating at the end, and say whether or not I believe you should listen to the record. Okay, so this is God's Country by Chat Pile, who I say are actually my favorite band of all time. I love Chat Pile. They're my favorite band of all time, like I said. So I hold all of their music to very high standards. They actually have a new album coming out September 4th called Who Loves the Sun on their label, The Flenser. I'm very excited for that. God's Country is the first full-length album by Chat Pile, their first LP. They released Portrayal of Guilt splits, I think, before this, and they had two EPs before this. But this is their first LP. It's called God's Country. For those of you that don't know, Chat Pile are a noise rock / sludge metal / post-hardcore band from Oklahoma City, and their name comes from the mounds of waste that lay rampant in their hometown. They're very inspired by other bands like the Jesus Lizard or Shellac, or maybe some sludge metal groups like I Hate God to an extent, even some that they tuned to drop A, so they're definitely inspired by Mastodon with some of their stuff. And they're also inspired by bands like, I know their guitarist Luther Manhole is a huge fan of Unwound, who I also love, and he likes Gore Guts a lot, and they're very inspired by that. And a lot of the lyrical content of their music is based around horror films and like grindhouse flicks and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. They also have some Swans influence in there, I must say I'm also a huge fan of. So, God's Country by Chat Pile. It has 9 songs on it. I'll go over the songs on side 1 of the LP and then side 2, and I'll give you my opinions on each of them. We start out with the song Slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse is this great opener. It's has this very iconic vocal call out, hammers and grease, which is kind of the theme throughout the song. Hammers and grease and the eyes of God are watching. It's kind of talking about, portraying religion as a form of slaughterhouse, and it's all watching over all of us, and they're going to get the hammers and they're going to get the grease and they're going to come for you because you're a cow, right? Why is the second song, and I believe it's the biggest. I believe it's either the first or second most popular track off of the record. It's great. It has this extraordinary breakdown at the end. It's in drop A. It's low tuned. It's heavy. Ba-na-na-na. It's a great track. This one's about, it's a very blunt track. It's talking about, why do people have to live outside? I couldn't live outside. It's very blunt and very straightforward with the politics it's assuming and the stance that it's assuming, but it's a great track. And frankly, I agree with the politics personally, but this isn't a political channel. But most of the music I review on this channel will be political because I am a punk rock guy and I love, like sludge and stoner rock and a lot of genres like that where politics play a big role in the music. Industrial rock as well. Like I said, I love Swans, and Swans is the most political band, one of them ever. So that will be a big part of the music I cover in this channel. Then we have Pamela. Pamela to me is one of the weaker tracks. It's not bad. It's just one of the weaker tracks. It has this kind of gothic rock feel, not with the instrumentation, but it's a longer song. It's like 6 minutes. It has these dynamics that the first two songs don't really have. Pamela has a lot of dynamics. It's very almost like Slint-esque in the way it uses those dynamics, and it's like a kind of a drawn out track. It's a bit more post-rock-esque or post-hardcore-esque than the, grueling sludge noise of the first two tracks. It's a great track nonetheless. Wicked Puppet Dance, the most underrated song on this album. I love this song. It's in 5/4 primarily, da 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 5/4. You can hear the Jesus Lizard influence all over this. It's right there in the bass line and the drums. Great track. Fantastic track. You're a wicked puppet. That's what it's talking about, But I believe this is one of those ones that's more inspired by films. I know Pamela is also inspired by film, but Wicked Puppet Dance is very cryptic. Almost like Mars Volta-esque in the lyrics. It's very cryptic and very mysterious. Very, very Cedric Bixler-esque. And then you get to Anywhere. Anywhere is a song that I genuinely forgets on this album. Not because it's bad. It's just homogenized into the first 4 tracks. It sounds a lot like Slaughterhouse and Why. It sounds a lot like those tracks. It doesn't offer anything new. It doesn't bring anything new to the table. Still a good track nonetheless, but it's not a track that's pushing the boundaries of noise rock per se in the slightest. That's side 1. Now we'll get over to side 2. Tropical Beaches. This is another one of the very popular ones off the album, and it is, in my opinion, probably the heaviest on the album. The chorus is this. I actually have a long sleeve shirt that has the lyrics going down the side, unknown concepts, new strategies. Great shirt. Bought it off the Chat Pile website. Check out their website. They got some good merch. This is a great track. Very heavy. It also it's very dissonant. It's extremely dissonant. Like their music is, like dissonant, kind of clashes together, especially with like the drums being so like let me mention this. The production on this album is fantastic. The drums were actually played with an E-kit, but they play it live with real drums. But the E-kit is it's just so, like, massive. It is so large. And it has a drum sound unlike any other. It has a very, like, Swans-esque drum sound, or like a Melvins-esque drum sound when they played with multiple drummers. Their drummer, Captain Ron, does this all by himself, and it's just the way the kit's EQ'd. It sounds massive. And Luther's guitar tone's actually not that distorted. It's really not distorted at all, especially for like a noisy, sludgy album. He mentioned this in an interview one time, that he actually like prefers to have like more of a little bit of reverb on his tone, but he doesn't have as much gain as he would like, because Sten's bass is just a Godflesh bass. He plays like industrial rock bass tone. He's got a really, I forget the name of the pedal, but he has a pedal that he uses, and it's fantastic. He has a heavy tone. So Luther doesn't have as heavy of a tone to kind of balance it out. But anyway, like I said, Tropical Beaches, great song, fantastic. Then we get to The Mask. This is one of those songs that's kind of along with Anywhere, where if I'm telling you about this album and I don't have the track list in front of me, I'm not going to tell you about The Mask. I'm not. It's a good song, but it's definitely like the most forgettable on the track list. But it's a good song regardless. I Don't Care If I Burn. This is a weird track. It's spoken word. It's a spoken word track, and it has some screaming bits. It has the occasional like almost desert noise, tumbleweed in the background, kind of like, it's like the opening to The Big Lebowski in the background. It's like tumbleweeds and just like walking and belts jingling. and it's a spoken word track, and it's quite disturbing actually. It's very, I would say, I'm not even sure. It's very, I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost like shoo shoo or like it's like Scott Walker-esque. It's really weird and kind of just entrancing and disturbing, and it's a great track, especially in the context of the album. And last but not least, we get to the color of the vinyl, purple. We get to Grimace Smoking Weed .jpg. This is an epic track. This is the longest track on the album. If I remember correctly, it's about 9 minutes long. If I remember correctly, it's about 8 to 9. I think it's 8 to 9 minutes. Fantastic. Fantastic song. It's very sludgy. It is by far, I don't want to say by far, it is extremely just slow and fat. And it's like, this track has the weight of Eddie Hall. This track is monstrous. This is like if Thou took off their gain and then they played like a Fugazi riff over the top of it. It's like that mixture of post-hardcore, especially in their ethos and their lyrics, and just the heaviness of like a sludge band. This song's lyrics are quite funny too. It's about this man experiencing a dream where he sees Grimace smoking weed, and I think Grimace is trying to kill him or something. It's another one of those just like kind of off the wall funny tracks, but the music behind it is quite nice and disturbing. It's a really great track. So I would have to say my standout tracks are Slaughterhouse, Why, Wicked Puppet Dance, Tropical Beaches, and Grimace Smoking Weed. Those are my top 5 tracks off the record. Great record though. Love it. Like I said, Chat Pile is my favorite band. And the rating that we've all been waiting for, 8.5. Give it 8.5. This isn't my favorite. This is not my favorite Chat Pile record. I prefer their second LP with songs like Tape and I Am Dog Now and Mask and The New World. That's their best record. Their third record's pretty good too with Hayden Pettigo. But I will give God's Country by Chat Pile an 8.5. And I do believe that you guys should totally check out this album. It's great. It's heavy. It's noisy, dissonant. Has some quiet dynamics and some hardcore punk ethos in it. It has that vein of energy. And it's a great record. And you should definitely check it out. And if you guys like it, then let me know if I put you on. Please leave a comment down below in the video to give me an album to give a review on next. I'd be more than happy to. And like I said, there will be local bands in the rotation here soon. So keep at it and give it a listen.